For the benefit of the bots, not for sale. Hello and welcome to Bloke on the Range, and I'm here at Coup du Tir in Sion, Canton Valley, Switzerland, and we're going to talk about left shoulder with an SA80. Now, the problem with bullpups in general is that your face is up there, so if you try and shoulder it properly, conventionally, it will smack your face. Ow. You can't do this. You either get a face full of cocking handle or a face full of brass, or both. It doesn't work. Now there's a technique that's been developed more recently by the British Army to be able to at least have some sort of CQB technique that actually works out the left shoulder. But first of all, what I think we're going to do is we're going to just go to a conventional rifle. This is just a 22 LR AR-15, and with the magazine in front like this, you don't have this problem. So if you're in a situation where you need to change shoulder, you can change shoulder. Left-handers can shoot left-handed, right-handers can shoot from the left shoulder. And during the L1A1 SLR era, particularly units that went out to Northern Ireland, they would train both shoulders. They could patrol down both sides of the street equally, and people got very confident out of both shoulders. So again, right shoulder, safety, left shoulder, perfectly good. Bit of brass every now and again, that's about the worst you're ever going to get. So, onto the SA80. Now, I've taken the SUSAT off. This is 4 power. Needs to have your eye right up to it, or very, very close to it, to see through it properly. What I've got here, because I don't have an ACOG or a ELCAN with a piggyback dot, is I've put a Triticon MRO on a bunch of risers so that it simulates a piggyback dot. And there are in fact piggyback dots for SUSAT as well. If I hold it about the right place, you see it's at roughly the right height. And they were used for CQB because a 4 power fixed scope. 4 power fixed scope doesn't give you much field of view. As I discovered at Hattila up in Finland in July, it's a bit of a pain in the bum.
Stand by.
Get some. Okay, so we use the sling. I'm wearing CBA, a bit more realism. So using the dot on the top, bit of a head up position for strong side as normal. However, weak side, as I mentioned, you can't do this and take a normal sight picture. But what you can do is that, and keep your head back. Keep standing relatively square on, chin on there, and then if we pull this back as far as it goes, it's miles out the way. So we've got ba-bang, ba-bang. And I've never tried this with a top dot before. There's no point in trying to use the emergency battle sight to do this, because it's a tiny little hole that you need your eye close up to it. If it had a U-notch, you could use it for this. Okay, so this means that if you're coming around the left side of cover, you can do it.
key aspects to this kind of work. As you work into more complex terrain, you'll be presented with a number of different threats.
Right clear, right left, from left.
Realistic training will you be able to control how your body reacts. As you move from one threat to the next, your training has stopped you from taking that shot. Your sound judgment, your shot accountability, but the contact is still moving.
Now obviously you're not going to use this for any kind of precision shooting because you've got to keep your head way back. You can only really use a top dot, and it would be very, very nice one day to try this at a Brutality or at an SRA match up in Finland with, say, an ACOG with a top dot, get the best of both worlds.
Several months later.
Yeah, you're never, in that kind of match, you're never really going to be forced to use the left shoulder, but I could possibly try a few things like that live on the clock just to see how they go. So I think that's very interesting. It does remove at least the CQB aspect of the bullpup left shoulder problem. It is not as optimal as completely changing shoulders and using your left hand, but it certainly works, and it only took them about 30 years to come up with, but well, you get there in the end, eh? So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope that was at least vaguely interesting. Please like and subscribe, and please consider supporting us on Patreon if you're into that kind of thing. Thank you very much to Eric, CEO of the Swiss, for holding the camera, and see you again sometime. Bye.